In front of us is an Eloa science teaching aid, which we specifically made to make the physics concepts become easy to comprehend. It captures the three processes involving the mains electricity, one being the energy generation and supply, where the energy is being obtained from the sun, which is a renewable source of energy, by harnessing the sun rays to the solar panels, then transmitting the energy to the trunk system. We introduced this model in our school so as to improve the students' academic performance in physics, specifically in current electricity and mains electricity. Well, the setting up of this model required the following apparatus. One being the solar panels. We also require the solar controller, the plywood, and also require the mains consumption meter, and also have the consumer unit supply. We require the power inverter, where the energy from the solar panels is going to be converted from DC form to AC form so that it can be utilized by appliances requiring the AC supply.
It took us 6 months to come up with this project. Since there are the activities of going out to buy the apparatus, the activities of carrying out the experiment. For me, I would like to acknowledge the principal for providing the funds which we used to come up with the apparatus in which we made this model, and also acknowledge the staff subordinate which helped us in making up this model. And the limitation which we faced during making up this model, insufficient funds, since the funds were provided by the school, and yet some of the apparatus which we used were very expensive. So that's the limitation which we found it when making up this. We recommend the Ministry of Education to sponsor us so that this model can be used in learning institutions, because you can see that this model captures physics concepts, and those physics concepts that seem to be very difficult in students in secondary school. Now it can help since it captures book 1, book 2 and book 4. So the government should fund out this project so that it can be used in learning institutions. It took us 6 months to come up with this project. Since there are the activities of going out to buy the apparatus, the activities of carrying out the experiment.
We first assembled local available material. As you can see, the housing of the gadget is made out of a spring container, and this is a 500 ml bottle which we will use as our microphone. And we also used some parts of our woofer and 2 leather belts which will act as a part of support, enabling it to be portable, and a metal stand which is attached to a plywood, which enhances support for the whole system. And it's also connected to a plug which can be plugged directly to the electricity, and it also has a battery with some few wires which you can either connect it to the battery for it to work, or plug it directly to the electricity.
Mostly, the students can also take part in composing songs that they can be able to memorize concepts in science and mathematics that they can make them to be able to recall during exams other than reading directly from the course book. From students reading directly from the course book, it is hard for them to memorize concepts. But when you use the song, the students become motivated, they have positive attitude, and then songs have a link in memorization. It helps to trigger memories.
One of the areas that we identified was the problem of poor performance, especially in mathematics and the sciences. So in that process on identifying the solutions, we are able to come up with the projects on Study Buddy Gadget 23, which the learners are able to come up with a song. They compose a song for the areas that are very difficult to them, especially in mathematics, in physics, and also in the biology. So when they come up with the song, like these days, we know that students, they really like music. So the music will enable them to master those concepts, and at the same time, it entertains them. So it also gives them the energy so that they are able to learn and hence master this concept. So we find solutions that will enable the learning process to be more friendly and also enable the learners to master the concepts.
The students came up with the physics teaching aid. They have been observing that we have been having a challenge on a teaching aid on physics, and then they approached me and they told me they have an idea on how they can develop a simple and cheaper teaching aid. And then they went ahead and came up with a write-up, and then they developed the teaching aid, and then they came up with the materials, and then we assembled the materials and we come up with this particular teaching aid, which they called a lower science teaching aid, to help in teaching 4 topics in physics. That is cells and simple circuit in Form 1. We have current electricity 1 in Form 1. We have current electricity 2 in Form 3. And we also have the mains electricity in Form 4, which are the 4 topics which can be taught using this single teaching aid.